Happy Saturday, Connect fam. You are officially watching the Connect Network TV right here on the CW. I'm your host, Stitches, here with my amazing, fabulous gal pal, Wendy Morales. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Stitches.
So Sandy Gwen is out this week, but we are bringing you the heat on your Saturday. So if you are an entrepreneur or female founder looking to be inspired, you're in for a treat. Wendy, how you doing, darling? How are you?
I am just fantastic. And you know what? I am super excited because today's guest, they're here to empower women to achieve their goals. And, Stitches, no matter how many goals that may be, success is limitless. Today, we are kicking things off with a woman who is literally breaking glass ceilings. She is the owner of the construction company Nucor and a mompreneur, Denise Castro.
I love it. She's a woman who wears many hats, and she's also here to inspire women everywhere to do the same. Please help us welcome to the show, Miss Denise Castro to the show.
Hi.
I'm Denise.
How are you all?
Amazing.
Yeah, we are great. Denise, welcome. We are just super excited to have you here with us today. And listen, you are a woman who runs several businesses. Give us the rundown.
So honestly, I wore a lot of hats before I became a mom. And then it wasn't until I became a mom that I realized that the rotation of the hardest hat was being a working mom. So I started to think out of the box when I became a business owner, because I will say motherhood is probably the hardest hat that I wear, even though I wear a construction hat, a lot on the field. But, so having that business aligned to the kind of woman that I wanted to be kind of happened after I became a mom. And it's really important to, cater to businesses that understand that women and mothers are people that bring a lot to the workforce. And when we can do two things symbiotically, magic kind of happens. Women are just very resilient. And as mothers, we are equally as resilient. And when we have these little beings that are like, the future taxpayers of America, depending on us, going back to school is a great thing. And you can do that at any point in your time. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how many kids you have.
And I will say, talk about construction. You look fabulous doing it, honey.
Thank you.
And I do have to shout you out because we're kind of connected by my radio sister, Lucy Lopez.
Yes.
Cheers to you. So let's talk about construction. What made you actually decide to work in construction and real estate? Tell us, Denise, please.
Sure. I call myself the accidental contractor. I was a marketing analyst for a very large construction company about 15 years ago. And I was always kind of behind the scenes. I was the person that would put, the pitches and the marketing material together, like, come on in, this is the contractor you need to hire. And then I realized that I didn't want to be behind the scenes. I don't want to be behind a computer. I wanted to be the person, selling the company. I bought into the company 4 years for Nucor Construction with my partner. And we are a commercial contractor that focuses on, high rise, hotels, hospitality, apartments. And we are what you call Tri-County. So we service South Florida, Broward, Palm Beach. And now we're kind of breaking into the Tampa and St. Petersburg market, which is really hot and interesting. So, and I love it. Why wouldn't you have women on the field, sort of governing these things? It's truly like, keys to success right here.
That's amazing. And I heard you mention FIU. Shout out to the Panthers as well. Yeah. I'm an Owl, but I got to shout out the Panthers. You also, to my knowledge, you also have a nonprofit agency, Virtual Mom Collective. What was the inspiration behind it? I'm thinking it had something to do with the pandemic, or tell us about it.
It did. We are multifaceted individuals. If anything, we become stronger, more resilient creatures. And the pandemic started this idea of, I want to create a community, and how do I connect them virtually? So we called it Virtual Mom Collective. And then we started with 50 moms. It was a humble Facebook group. And now we are a full nonprofit. We're about 300 members, mostly here in Florida. And what we do is empower working moms and women and bridge that gap of understanding that we're women first. But when we become mothers, we are an essential part of the workforce. And I can't stress it enough. And right now we just had our summit kicking off at FIU with The summit is a focus on exactly that, empowering moms in business, in financial wellness, in mental health, and bringing grants. What we do is bring grants so that they can invest in their business babies, because we can invest in ourselves, we invest in our family, and time is money, baby. So we got to put that time and that investment in a good place. So our kids and our businesses are top priority always.
You are absolutely right. And speaking of women, you have helped hundreds of women with your nonprofit. So can you tell us a little bit about that, Denise?
Yes. I would like to mention that during the pandemic, what happened with the shortage of formula. There was obviously there was no labor, right? There wasn't enough people going back to like factory settings or whether they work for a corporation. So there was limited resource. If it wasn't the toilet papers, it was formula. And I was directly affected because I was weaning my daughter, and I had a medical situation where I needed to look for formula. And, if it weren't for, the resources and this campaign that we created virtually, that, we then were able to help locally 250 moms with formula, especially formula that's specialized with non-dairy, because, there is a lot of children who have allergies. So like, imagine having access to a food source, and you're in the middle of like not being sure if you can find it, and you have, a newborn at home, and that situation is like, it's just like one of those like, what the hell moments, and that was one of the biggest and most wonderful moments that our nonprofit really rose to the occasion to support moms.
That's incredible. You're like, I'm over here thinking, wow, she is, I thought already just with everything that you do, you're superwoman, but with the whole formula story and how all of that was created, you're just incredible. So you say, Denise, that there's a new era of entrepreneurship. Share with us a little bit what you mean by that.
Yeah, so I just launched my new name, right? My new brand, which is called the Mompreneur Builder. And I realized that mompreneur is not a term that's been coined or, marketed for very long. And I think it's really interesting that now when we call ourselves mompreneurs and we're merging those two buzzwords like mom and entrepreneur, and combining those two roles and essentially building a brand that's going to not only marry your business, but it's going to marry the legacy of your family. Because at the end of the day, when you are maybe retired, or you're not sure if your business is what you want it to be in 10 years, or you want to continue to do that line of work, or maybe you don't want a corporate job for that, a 9-to-5 setting. You don't want to do that for the rest of your life. What are you going to do? You can be an entrepreneur, but the reality is that you have to treat it as a baby. You have to nurture it. You have to you have to see it grow. You have to see it. You can't resist certain, age, those growing pains, as they say. Well, you can't resist like the growth. And sometimes it's about, aligning what you see with yourself in this business and what you see yourself as a mother.
I love it. And thank you for sharing practical things that those mompreneurs can really do now. And I'm sure our Connect fam is asking, from the nonprofit sector and grants, how people can support you and to a shot at construction. I know people are looking forward to connect with you. How can our Connect fam find you?
Yeah, they can find me at Mompreneur Builder. That is my Instagram, and Virtual Mom Collective all together. And then the construction company is Newport.us. We invest in what we call the Mother Mentor Grants. And these are grants that we give to mothers who are looking to start a business baby.
Awesome. Denise, thank you again for being here with us today. It's just been such a pleasure. And coming up, we have more empowering conversations as we talk with author and life coach Susie Boots, who she's here to show us how to create our own miracles. Then we have some financial tips from financial coach Professor Oyinka Coco to help your business and your personal life. So don't go away. We will be right back.
I'm Jessica Cherry, founder of the award-winning blog Life of a Cherry Wife. If you're looking to follow for mom and lifestyle content, fashion, Latina life, and good vibes, this is the place for you. Head over to www.lifeofacherrywife.com for the latest in these areas. Follow me on social at Life of a Cherry Wife.
Say goodbye to signs of aging and inflammation caused by an imbalance in the trillions of microbes on your skin's microbiome surface. The Dermabiome Collection by Gleam Beauty is a groundbreaking blend of science and nature designed to restore your skin's delicate ecosystem and soothe skin irritation, offering a one-of-a-kind solution not found elsewhere on the market. Gleam Beauty, changing lives, one face at a time.
Give me that faith. Give me that fashion. 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 Welcome to the house of faith and fashion.
95% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. It is sad. And one of the number one reasons is because of the lack of capital. Hi winners, my name is Terry Kauser and I'm a credit expert and I specialize in helping entrepreneurs and investors leverage their personal and business credit to get $100,000 and more in funding super fast. I can't wait to share with you on The Connect Show.
Are you ready to bring your brand to television? Listen, it is possible, and it's possible without pitching to all of the different networks across the country, across the world, and begging for a seat at their table. Listen, come check us out on The Connect Show. We broadcast on the CW network every single week, reaching more than 2 million households. And what we do is help you build and promote and market your brand in front of an audience that actually has a pocketbook. They actually want to spend money and better themselves, better their strategies, their systems. We focus on women in business and female entrepreneurs. So if you are building a brand that you know has the potential to be so much bigger, or if you're prepared and ready to scale, join us today. You can register to be a guest at theconnectonline.com.
Welcome back, Connect fam. Your girl Stitches here with my gal pal Wendy Morales. And welcome to the Connect Network TV right here on the CW. One of the most empowering episodes yet. So I hope you are ready, Connect fam. Right now, we are going to be joined by entrepreneur, workout enthusiast, author, and life coach. I just love saying her last name, Susie Boots. Welcome, Susie.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to the show. So Susie Boots, I'm going to be saying Miss Boots throughout the day, if that's okay, throughout the morning. So you have your newest book titled Through the Eyes of Truth. That's an interesting title. Tell us a little bit more about it if you can.
This book was literally my answered prayer. I wrote it after I dropped to my knees one afternoon. I had hit a wall of depression and darkness after my mom had passed away from breast cancer. And one afternoon, I just dropped to my knees and I just said, God, I need you to show me my truth. And the most miraculous thing happened. I had my eyes closed and I'm kneeling on my cold tile in my kitchen alone, just sobbing. And I had my eyes closed and I saw the word right, as if it was against a black chalkboard with white chalk. And it startled me. And I opened my eyes again, and it's like so vivid because it was such an amazing moment. So again, I asked God, I said, God, show me my truth. and I saw the same word, right. The most amazing feeling of love I can even describe as love. It was the most pure, emotion-driven feeling just came pouring over me from the top of my head through every single cell of my body.
Wow.
And I had never experienced anything like that in my entire life. And as I sat there and I just felt this warm blanket of love cover every inch of my soul, I just knew this was God. And this book literally changed my life. It changed my perspective of my relationship with God. It changed my perspective with my relationship with myself, with my goals, and with the world around me.
Susie, thank you for sharing such a lovely story and how it all came to light. And I love that you took something that could have turned into something negative and you made it into something really positive and beautiful. And you speak of God a lot. And I know that you do a lot of work surrounding helping people build connections with God. So share with us, what is the first step that we could take or that our viewers could take in building that connection?
The most important thing that you can do is to realize that that source of miracle lies within you. So start there. Start asking God, and most importantly, start to listen. So the first and most important thing to do is to go within, ask God, and then listen. And then when you get that God whisper, that intuition and that gut feeling, act on it and start creating that goal, because it means it's already very much a possibility.
That is so good. It is awesome. Stitches, you're right. And I love that when you hear that little voice telling you it's go time. And share with us also, at what point in your career did you decide to become an entrepreneur?
It's interesting because I didn't make the decision. God made the decision. I had 17 years of sales experience in media. I sold air for a living. So what you're breathing, I could have sold for $450. And after I just felt that something was changing in my life, and I felt the shift. And I made great money. I had a really great career, but I defined myself through that career. But I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel like I had purpose. And when we moved to Dallas, I couldn't find a job in my career. And it's then when I started to talk to God and deepen my relationship, and I suddenly became an author, a life coach, and a pageant coach. And my life has been absolutely remarkable ever since.
I love that. You have such a pleasantness about you, and it's just very nice to listen to. If you want somebody who can sell air on your team, honey, hi, tap you in. So let's talk about your coaching, though, if we can, Susie. What products and services do you offer at your coaching agency that you can share with our Connect fam?
Well, I have my books that I have very much accessible through my website at susieboots.com. And I also decided to download and offer the free download of Through the Eyes of Truth. I created an audiobook, so you can visit my website and download it for free and start creating your own amazing life. But I not only have my books, but I also do one-on-one coaching, whether through Zoom or FaceTime or even just sitting in front of you. And I help you no matter what your goal is, whether it's to start a new career path, whether it's to create a new dream, is I help you connect with that goal and realize the only difference is your actions and your belief system. And we start working backwards from there.
Awesome. I'd love to hear how your services help your clients achieve their goals, and how do you stand out as a life coach?
I think that one thing I offer is I have made some incredible strides in my life through either the power of free will or the power of faith. And I learned to teach people the lessons that I have applied in my own life. So I create my miracles. I create my life of joy, my goals, and I show people how to do it the way I did it. And I know the fears that they walk through. I know those lack of faith moments where you wonder if that vision God shows you is real or if you're just making it up. And I can step you out of that fear, and also to help you realize that the only thing that separates you from your goal is the perception of time and lack. So we shift your perspective because you can't think about love and fear at the same time. So I help you shift your mindset to already understanding that you have that in your life right now. And what does it look like? So start there.
Awesome. And I gotta ask you before you go, um, Susie, one, I appreciate your boldness in just sharing your faith and your love for the Lord and sharing your experience. I know it's going to help someone else. Before you go, can you please tell us, though, what advice would you give to those who are maybe trying to manifest their goals and desires? Like, how can they attain or manifest at the highest goals, or their highest goals, rather?
I always say that there's faith and there's tangible faith. And tangible faith to me is looking at your life saying, okay, if you ask God for something, are you sitting back waiting for God to give it to you, or are you creating it as if you are the co-creator in your life? So the best advice I can give you is realize today that beyond this physicality, beyond who you are and what you look like, you're pure energy. And the experience you're trying to connect to is also pure energy. So when you go within and align with already having that with the emotions and those thoughts of what it looks like in your life, then you can begin to create action steps in the physical world that's going to support that.
Where can our viewers connect with you and learn more about your book and your services and how to work with you, Susie? I'm sure they would love to hear more on that.
Well, you can visit my website at susieboots.com, or I'm also on social media. You can find me on Instagram at Real Susie Boots. And I also have a podcast. It's Susie Boots Inspiration Podcast. So there's a lot of different ways for you to become inspired, but you are absolutely welcome to reach out to me through my website or email me as well.
Very awesome. Just as Stitch has mentioned, I mean, just speaking, I mean, you just bring this calmness, and I can't wait to tune into your podcast. So thank you again for speaking with us today, Susie. We've really, we're honored to have you here with us on the show today. So stay tuned, Connect fam. We are coming back with some financial empowerment tips from the professor herself, Oyinka Coakley.
Hair, scalp, skin, and lips hydrated this season, our vegan and gluten-free all-purpose moisturizers are just for you. Carefully formulated with fine ingredients to purify and nourish the skin and scalp at the same time without harsh chemicals. Shop It's Made For Me today. The end result will be strong, healthy hair and smoother, softer, clearer skin.
Welcome back, Connect fam. Stitchy is here with my gal pal, Wendy Morales. Hey, Wendy. So, true story, it has really been such an empowering episode, and hopefully you have been enjoying as much as we have. But we are not done yet. Please help us welcome back to the Connect fam, CPA, professor, entrepreneur, and financial planner, Oyinka Coakley. Welcome back, Oyinka.
Hey, ladies. I'm so glad to be back.
We're so glad to have you back with all those great tips. And as we talk business and finance tips, we're glad you're here, Oyinka, to tell us, in your experience, what is the main reason a business could be unprofitable?
Well, one of the main reasons is you're not generating enough leads. Leads turn into customers, right? So my mentor always told me, if they don't know you, they can't flow you. So what are you doing to get in front of your target audience? One of the biggest mistakes I see is that entrepreneurs have little to no marketing budget. But studies have shown that the most successful companies are spending 9 to 14% of their revenue on marketing. So you need to find a way to get in front of your potential customers, whether it's Google ads, it could be Facebook or Instagram ads, it could be email marketing, text message marketing. Figure out where your potential customer is and make sure you get in front of them.
So what are some things that business owners, Yinka, that you can say, what are some things business owners may overlook when tracing or more so tracking expenses? What can they do?
Oh, a lot of business owners aren't using any type of accounting software to track their business and expenses. They're basically running their business by their bank account balance. And most of us know that just because we have it in the bank doesn't mean it's available to spend. Mm-hmm. So you need to have some formal system to track your revenues and expenses. Because at the end of the day, profit is just revenue minus expenses. The revenue has to go up or the expenses have to come down. But right. If you don't know where your revenues and expenses are generated from, you won't be able to manage them properly.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So can you tell us when can a CEO do, or what can a CEO do to increase business revenue?
Well, one of the simplest ways is to increase your prices, right? What we need to do is stop trying to compete on price. Only one business can be the low-cost leader. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be the low-cost leader. I'm going to find a way to focus on differentiating my product or service from my competitors. So you have to think about what can you do differently than everybody else. So let's figure out ways to maybe differentiate ourselves so we can meet the needs of the market in a unique and exciting way. You know, people pay for excitement. What's different about your product? What makes it exciting?
Those are all like great. Again, we love having you here, dropping those great tips and, all those awesome financial insights. So, Oyinka, can you please share with our viewers the best way to connect with you and also get, all these tips and the insights on one-on-one basis?
Go to my website, oyinkatheprofessor.com, or follow me on Instagram, Oyinka the Professor, to stay tuned.
Thank you so much, Oyinka, and to our guests, Denise Castro and Susie Boots, for joining us, and of course to our Connect fam for always allowing us to spend your Saturday mornings with you. And to watch past episodes, head on over right now to the connectnetworktv.com and binge watch like you do Netflix style. Why not? We'll see you next week. Anything, Wendy?
I think you got it all covered.
Enjoy. God bless. Connect. Tell somebody, tell them you love them while they can hear it and receive it. You never know, it could change their day. Love you for free.
You're watching the Connect Network TV on the CW.